Being recorded.
Okay, doing a new recording here, mostly for myself for timing, but wanted to make it public as well. What I'm going to try to do is pick up in the talk track after we've already covered the generic intro, which is doing a traditional ERP versus the SAP HANA ERP, going through that slide work, and now getting into the system and picking up in the look and feel of Fiori, trying to do that with an update on the new help environment, as well as a Hybris order, and then also leveraging Analytics Cloud. FYI, all of those are now working and available in CLA Q1. So to dive in, we're going to go now into the look and feel of Fiori. So after we've done a generic overview as far as what the difference is between the coding block and really the performance differences between SAP and a traditional ERP, let's dive into the system. The first thing you're going to see are living tiles or a tile-based system. This is very Apple-esque in terms of layout and design. We've leveraged our partnership there to create a system that replicates what you're going to use more in your personal life, on your home, on your TV, computer, tablet, or phone. Again, a lot of this is app-based or tile-based icons, and you can see in here we've got tiles that work both with our native system as well as with the outside system. I have a RSS news feed that's built into the system. A lot of companies like to do that with their own personal news feed, whether that's for their company or maybe some industry-specific news. You also see we have an inbox. This inbox helps with managing your workflow, not necessarily needing to go in and out of your ERP and your company's Outlook. Instead, we now have all of that built in. So in this case, we have some credit issues with some sales orders that have been getting blocked. Since I'm the kind of a finance master user in this situation, those are going to me. And right within this system, without having to get outside of my mailbox, I see common tasks that you'd want to be able to do depending on what workflow comes in. I can approve, reject, show the logs, or start communication with other colleagues right from here without having to go into a different system. Again, we're trying to make everything easy, all within one place. One thing you may notice is these tiles have groupings just like you would on your phone or tablet. So in this case, I've got a home section, and then I've laid out my system the way I like to see it, which is more business process oriented. So order to cash to profitability. You can see in here I've got links into our Hybris sensor as well as standard order, ship, bill process if you're running your business in that manner. As we move down, you can see we also have some tiles that are going to load as information is getting updated. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, they have updated right now. They're living tiles, so they're giving you that insight that you need for your workday. And keep in mind that there's a huge spectrum of users at your organization, from casual users who maybe are only going to require 2 or 3 transaction-based tiles. Other users might be more power users the way we have it set up that are going across disciplines, across different business flows. That's one of the huge advantages with SAP. It's a fully integrated system, so you can see things that are all interconnected, such as order to cash to profitability, going right into our accounts receivable, into our treasury or cash flow situation. All of that integrates into one core system. With these tiles, you can see we have some traffic lighting on them. Some of our tiles have green, red, and yellow to let us know if they're meeting the thresholds we're setting for them, exceeding them, or otherwise somewhere in that neutral area. So to get an idea of what that might feel like, let's go down to the treasury and risk management area. This is where I've got a lot of my cash flow built in. So these tiles are updating in real time. And you can see over here, I've got cash position in green at 900 million. It's great to be a demo system. We've got a lot of cash on hand. But then you look in contrast at the cash discount utilization. That's in red. So without even getting into the system, drilling down, taking a next level of analysis, we're letting the system guide us into where we might want to spend some of our workday. I've got cash on hand in green, discounts in red. I'm not using enough discounts, but I have enough cash on hand. This would be a good opportunity to go into the system, take advantage of some discounts. We'll do that later on in the demo. But that's just a quick overview as far as the tiles and tile grouping. Up top, You'll also see we have a search agent. This is an enterprise-wide search agent, so we can search on lots of smart things, whether it's a customer, a sales order number. All of these things are going to search just like you'd expect out of your Google platform within the system. We'll show that a little later on. This tile says Open Copilot, for those of you who can't read it. Copilots are integrated or embedded chat agent, very similar to what you might be able to get to use with Instant Messenger or Skype or Gmail chat. All of these are similar agents, but one of the things we've seen out on the road is a lot of groups have some of their employees using Skype, some of their employees using Instant Messenger, and none of this is actually in the ERP or getting recorded. So you have two issues at hand. One, there's no accountability or documentation of what's going on in between these conversations, and the other is that you're outside the system. You can't leverage all the information in the ERP. One of the things you'll see later on is how we can use a living chat agent to link right to some of the web pages that are dynamically updating throughout the system. We'll do that later on as well. But here's a cool one. This is the help menu. For those of you who are older SAP customers or have seen SAP in the back, this is the new F1. So from any screen, when I go into the help mode, you can see some of the tiles get, or some of the locations on the screen get these green circles or squares around them, and that just gives you some information on what's going on here. And you can drill down and get some more information. So for example, let's go back into that cash position. And as I do that with the help filter on, we'll get some new updates telling you what's going on in the screen. You can drill down to get a better understanding of what's going on in the app, or at any time you can access our Learning Hub, and this is really cool. The Learning Center will automatically display whatever you're looking at in your screen. So if you wanted to learn more about advanced cash operations or checking a cash position, you could go through a mini tutorial. If you'd like to really expand your knowledge, we have access to, in this case, over 500 and really close to 600 actual learning steps. And this is all just based into finance. So if you wanted to, you can filter down depending on what role you're in right now, or maybe what role you're looking to expand your knowledge set into. And for any of these situations, they have interactive trainers that are offline where you're not working with your system, not damaging any access to the system, but you can go through these little video tutorials on how to actually improve your knowledge in the system. So a really powerful tool built in right there. So that's the help agent. And the final thing that we'll look at over here is the notifications. So notifications, again, are part of our workflow. We can build this out to be able to handle any of the workflow you're concerned about within your organization. Frequently, we like to be able to take advantage of centralized reporting, centralized accounts receivable, accounts payable, and in this case, you're seeing some workflow built around centralized credit management. In this case, we had those credit limits built into our inbox. You can see those again coming up over here. And depending on what the actual workflow that's coming in, we do have approve and reject capability right from here. So you can see a week ago and early this week, we had some credit limits for one of my customers on a pair of sales order. I can go ahead and drill into those just like we saw into the inbox, as well as approve and reject them right from here. So that's an overall look and feel of the system. What I'd like to do next is introduce you to the Analytics Cloud platform. This is basically our enterprise-wide reporting dashboards. Right now, I have this overview page that's built out for a CEO or a C-suite group. You can see on here our overall revenue, EBITDA, working capital. Again, we have RSS feeds that may be industry specific. You could have this feeding in stock quotes for your company, your competitors' companies, maybe key suppliers or customers of yours, as well as a lot of information that you need to get through your workday. Right on here, we're just showing you a few ideas. These are very easy to change and update depending on what you like. So we're just kind of tossing out a few examples of some of the neat stuff out here. In the first case, we've got a profit margin, really your financials, all built in, sales information, COGS, EBITDA, all of that good information. One of the things that's really nice about this, though, as opposed to other organizations, if you're using outside data visualization or analytics tools, ours being all built in around the same system is fully integrated, just as you'd imagine. If I click into my profit margin breakdown, gross revenue view, and wanted to understand more, I can click right back into my financial statements within the system. So all of this is completely integrated and completely real-time or live data. As I open this up, we have default filters to pick up the way we like to view our information. For me, I like to see a specific company code and ledger. If you want to change that, we can change different variants, so that'll default to different views. And right here in the system now I have real-time balance sheet P&L information. Very easy to maneuver around, simple clicks to expand or contract different accounts. And anytime you get a dark blue item, you are now at the lowest level of account, and all of that information has drill back capability. So within the balance sheet, of course, you're going to have all the things you'd expect within balance sheet information. And let's go ahead and go into one of our actual accounts and drill down all the way down to the line item most granular level. So just keep in mind, we're looking at this starting in that SAP Analytics Cloud platform, great data visualization tool, going at the highest level of the organization, and simple clicks, minutes in time, we're able to go all the way down to the most granular journal entry level. And again, anything in blue is a hyperlink that would actually take you to the living document. So if I wanted to go back and go into one of the journal entries or manage a journal entry or come over to my profit center and understand what's going on there, I can click right into that. So again, really powerful tool being able to go from that high level analytics, wherever you are, into the most granular level sales document order level visibility. Another dashboard we built out for you today was a profitability dashboard. And of course, if you want these customized to look with your company's colors, we can quote unquote skin that to make that however you want. So for example, we built this out for with your customer logo today, and now we've got a dashboard that's just centered around profitability. And keep in mind, this Analytics Cloud can reach out to multiple different ERPs. So while you're in that transition period of going from multiple ERPs with different ERP providers through the central finance journey, in the meantime, we can leverage Analytics Cloud to go out and make centralized reporting and centralized analytics a reality in a very short amount of time. So in this case, I'm seeing profitability across the entire company. I've got my KPIs over on the left, all very easy to change around. I've got my profitability graphs. I've got revenue by customers with information as I scroll over the actual customer to see that profitability. So if I wanted to compare, in this case, Cost Club versus Greater Hartford area, I can see dynamically updating profitability numbers. Again, there's a lot of visualization we're putting on this screen. If you want, obviously, take off or break out some of these charts and graphs, and there's a lot more options than what we're showing you right now, but we just wanted to show some that speak to a lot of people. This next one's a visualization of our revenue. The larger the revenue, the larger size squares. So you can see in our company, our demo system company that is, we're a bike selling company. So we've got race bikes, that's our biggest revenue generator as compared to youth bikes, mountain bikes, or cruise bikes. Obviously for you guys, that's going to be different services. Maybe that's your MWD, LWD, DD organizations. You're able to look at the revenue as well as profitability right from there, right from this screen. The next one's our sales order, and keep in mind, this is all live real-time analytics. So as the web page refreshes, we get new information populating this screen. So the most recent order is actually our online Hybris order. And I only know that because it's annotated with ZH and then my actual sales number ending in 64. That's the most recent one. You can see we've got multiple avenues for sales orders to hit our system. All of these Z numbers are coming in from Hybris. All these 5 numbers are coming in from one of our ERP systems, and all these 8 numbers are coming in from our native ERP system. Again, we're combining all of those different sales and revenue generating avenues into one analytic platform, so you can visualize all of that in the same place. We've got a few more profitability charts down here just to keep showing you what's available. In this case, we're doing profitability by region. So we've looked at profitability by sales order, by region, by product group above us. Now we're looking at it by region. We have our regions defined by states or our international cities. And we can also see that in a chart in terms of a graph. Right now, I'm viewing just our US base. I've got that as a heat map, so you can see I've got California and our West Coast is not generating quite as much revenue. That's a hotter color heat map. The higher revenue numbers are going to be on our East Coast area, just how our product group plays out. You can see out in New York, higher revenue. It's a cooler color versus where I'm calling my home state, Colorado, only $1 million of revenue, it's going into red. Again, all of this is completely configurable for whatever preference you have. To prove out some of the real-time connectivity of this system, I'm going to go ahead and put in a new sales order. So you can see all these profitability numbers are static for this moment. It's static to the moment that you open up the web page. Last sales order was 64, so let's go ahead and put in a new order-to-cash process. Again, we have multiple ways for this to happen. If you are a more traditional company in terms of how you're putting in your information, you're keying in your sales order, your deliveries, your billing information, that order, ship, bill process could all be handled by individual tiles. Maybe those are the only 3 screens you have available for that group of your employees. Alternatively, Hybris is our online web portal, so it's a great option if you're doing a lot of high revenue or high customer demand self-service, and you want to be able to let people do that on their own. Obviously, this is built out for our demo system, which is, again, that bike system, and you can see in here we've got great visuals, easy to update, depending on what you'd like to have as your organization. I can go ahead and do some searching as a customer. So again, now I'm kind of shifting over to be the customer in this situation, wanting to place an order. And I could go around and search through all my information. We can help you build that out. So it's a really nice picture. I always like this youth bike of this kid catching some air. I'm not sure what a luxury youth bike is, but that looks good as well. And we'll go ahead and let's make a purchase, and I'm going to buy just a basic racing bike. So very similar to any of the online shopping that you're probably doing today. I'm sure almost everybody's bought something through Hybris. You just don't necessarily know it because it's skinned for the actual company that you're buying from. So just normal functionality you expect, being able to check out or continue shopping, coupons, change the quantity, change your cart, get help, all of that good stuff's available by default, and we can get someone here to explain more information on Hybris if you're interested in that. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use a express checkout. I'm already signed in, I believe, or maybe I need to re-sign in. In this case, yeah, they've got me signed in, or I'm signed in, and so all of my default shipping methods, payment methods, all of that information's defaulted in. And you can see in here we're kind of trying to keep up with the times even in our demo system and doing free delivery. So in this case, I just need to make one final acknowledgement and place the order. My order has been put in from that customer perspective. I go, great, I just placed the order at 7:09. I've got my total, my information and receipts getting sent out to my email address that I have saved in for my information. I've got my shipping information defaulted and my order number. Well, what happens if you're on the customer side and you say, great, I just placed this order. I know it's 2-day shipping, it's for free, but I really need that order. You might call up the company and go, hi, I'm a common customer. Is there anything you can do? Can we get this out on the road a little quicker? So now I'm going to look at that search agent. So if I'm in that customer care group and I receive the call and I say, yeah, sir, great to talk to you. Glad you purchased another order. let's go ahead and see what we can do. I'm going to go inside my search agent, get the sales order from the customer while they're on the phone. He reads it off to me. I can use my enterprise search. I could search across my entire website, but since I know that this is a sales order, I'm going to go ahead and filter my search results because, again, just like Google, it's pulling on everything. So if any string of text that might have 066 or that kind of thing, it could be pulling up that information. It would filter it to the top, but since I know I'm looking at a sales order, I can go ahead and do that. And as that customer care representative or maybe somebody involved with the shipping process, I can go in and go, great, yeah, it looks like we just received your order. It's in the system. We understand it's going to ship later on today. Let's go ahead and take a peek at it. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead as that customer care person, and I'm going to start a new chat. Again, this is our new co-pilot system, and I'm going to name the chat the sales order that we have. And I'm going to say, on the phone with Joe right now, can we expedite? So let's go ahead and make that chat. We've started it. Next thing, obviously, we're going to want to bring that in to a chat and bring someone in to help us out. Unless your organization is small enough that you're having the same person do that. So let me go ahead and pull up my picking agent and send this along to her. So now this has been sent out to them. They would get an alert on their iPad or their phone or inside their inbox that we looked at earlier, saying, "Hey, you know, we've got this question. Can we move it along?" Maybe I even want to be able to help them out a little more and go ahead and put in a snapshot. And this is pretty cool because I can snapshot my screen. Obviously, that technology and that level of functionality is available with other tools out there. But instead of doing this just as a static snapshot, we're actually adding a live link. So when Christina comes in and gets my chat, she can go ahead and open this chat up and click on, and it'll link to that screen. So say you're looking at this from a different perspective, and you're Christina, you're wanting to understand where this is, where we are in the process. They could see this process updating in real time if the issue has already been solved. They would then not be doubling and doing extra work. How nice would this be if you were doing bank information, looking at credit statements or cash flow operations? Static information that was sent 2 days ago becomes useless pretty much within the end of the day. Having links to live system makes it much more powerful. So let's go ahead and revisit this process flow. You can see at this point, automated that touchless process, and in our current environment, we only have the sales, delivery, billing, and accounting process. We don't have a quotation, but if that's part of your business process, that step can obviously be handled. And in this case, we have our delivery status showing, so we've seen that the sale has come in, it's checked inventories, it's checked your credit limits, it's done a dangerous goods check if that's applicable. All of those things have been done in the background, automated without personal intervention, and now it's being released to shipping. It's going to be shipped at the end of the day, but again, we have this customer call asking us to move the process along. So let's go ahead and go back into this, and I'm going to shift roles a little bit now. So now let's say I'm no longer the customer care agent or the salesperson who was helping this order get into the system, and now I'm putting on my logistics team or fulfillment center role where I'm now coming in and wanting to fulfill this order. So this is the first time I've seen this order. I probably opened up my chat, I looked at it, I went to the current screen, and see how it just took me to that current screen that I was on previously that I snapshot? That's really cool for them to be able to get on the same page right away. So now I've got got all the information as the picking or fulfillment person, and I want to go ahead and actually make my picking. So I would come in, display my sales order, because again, I didn't put the order in. I'm just seeing it for the first time, and I've gotten a notification saying, hey, can we rush deliver? And I'm going to try to fulfill that. So I'm going in, I'm looking at the sales order. All of this is interconnected. All of the information in SAP is available to your entire team. This is really powerful when you consider how hard and disconnected a lot of your business processes are now. So I can understand, okay, it looks like someone bought one of our race bikes. I know that model number. Looks like it's one. Okay, it's showing that it's in inventory. Let's go ahead and display the delivery document. Great, I've got my delivery document out here. I'm going down inside the warehouse. I'm putting my eyes on the system, and maybe I'm doing this via my iPad and like a barcode reader, or if not, I can go ahead and manually put this into the system. So I'm going to go in and say, yes, I have picked one quantity. Let's go ahead and do that and post the goods issue. The system's updating, and we have now gone from that order process online. All of the information and checks were done in the background. We had a delivery or picking process set. We wanted to expedite that, so we went ahead and manually expedited that process. Now if I wanted to come back and look at my process flow again, I should see this get updated. And we run all of these delivery items in the background every minute. So I'm going to go ahead and come back into this and see if it updates in a second. Keep in mind, what we're doing this for ultimately is to show that the Analytics Cloud platform is updating all of this information in real time. When we're going through the order, ship, bill process, the accounting document is created when we actually pick our merchandise, in this case a bike, and that at that time we're able to start seeing information get updated inside our profitability vignette. So the last order in here was number 64. Again, the order we placed a moment ago was 66. Let's see if this process has run. It has. So now we have our delivery process has gone through because we went in and picked the item. You can see, again, a touchless process for your accounting team. We have set it up so that when you have picked your item and acknowledge that it's been picked, the bill automatically is generated, sent out to email or whatever delivery mechanism you have with your customer. And now we have moved along through that order, ship, bill process, and it is in accounting. We're waiting to receive the money from our customer. We're going to get to that end and simulate receiving that money later on in the demo today as well, going back to this same sales order. So order, ship, bill is done. We're waiting to receive the money. Regardless, we can see how profitable that actual purchase has been inside our Analytic Cloud platform. All we need to do is refresh the system so that it's able to get the new information that's hit the system since we started about 15 minutes ago. So let me go ahead and sign on again. If you'd like to avoid some of these sign-ons, we do have a single sign-in option. So once you've signed into the system once, you don't have to sign in again. We've got the current sign-ins built in right now just so that we can maintain role-based accessibility to make sure people aren't able to get where they shouldn't be. Naturally, being able to get this executive level reporting or even this profitability reporting might not be something you want to share with the entire organization. Either way, if you want to do this with single sign-on or with our role-based security, both of those are an option. So as I scroll down into here, I can now see order number 66 has hit the system. I can see my profit, my revenue, as well as my profitability. And again, that's all off this latest sales order that was generated just a moment ago. Another thing that you can do within this within the Analytics Cloud that's kind of neat So we can go ahead and put in filters as needed. So if you wanted to come in and say, I want to look at company code 1710, or maybe just the US, we can filter down by that. All of our KPIs and the entire story that we're looking at below will get updated. Or maybe you want to come in and search just by a customer. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and look at the customer that I like to work with the most, Max Neat Bikes, and look at what's going on within the organization from a profitability perspective just for this customer. I can see my revenue numbers were just over $1.4 million of sales, COGS, profit, as well as profitability. This customer is obviously a very profitable customer for our organization. And now just the sales orders as well as spend mix that we've seen from this customer are coming up into our graphics. So Analytics Cloud, very powerful, very neat way to get through the system. And if I didn't show it, we have the same sort of drill back capability that we saw in the financial statements within our sales orders. So in this case, I've filtered down to my customer that I just was looking at, grabbed a sales order, and can go back into the system to see what's going on with that actual sales order. So in this case, this is another sales order that I put in a few days ago, it looks like. We can see it's gone through the order, ship, bill process, and it too is stuck in accounting. So we'll move on from there and switch over into accounts receivable, look at our dispute management, promise to pay, centralized accounts receivable organization, and how we're able to run that process from a centralized view once you get everything onto the same system. And during that, we'll go ahead and clear this sales order and receive money for it.